for that. So, Ryan, what did you think about the season overall, bro? Like, what was your takeaway from, just how the young guys kind of progressed? What did you think about, like, just overall the how the Rockets? Obviously, we suck, but
Yeah.
just from the little things, what do you think about the season?
Yeah, honestly, so I was thinking about this today. Honestly, if I was to give the Rockets a grade for the season, I feel like I would give them like an A minus. And I think that's for a couple different reasons. So one, if you're thinking about if you're thinking about going into the season, like what are kind of the goals? So I think one of the big goals is obviously to develop all of the young players and kind of you have all these new draft picks plus KPJ, and you want to say, okay, we want to develop them. We want to see if they can be long term pieces. And so I think that they definitely did that, right? Clearly Jalen clearly developed, right? I mean, we just take a look at the last month, since March started, averaging 22 points and dropping 30 bombs like it's nothing, right? Like clearly he's developing. And then if you look at the other rookies, right? Shingun obviously way better than they thought they were ever going to get with him. Way better than any Rockets fan thought. I think that we would get with him. He's just like a breath of fresh air, baby Jokic out there. Look at somebody like Josh Christopher, who going into the season, Rockets fans were probably thinking, he's going to be a two-way guy. He's going to be kind of like Knicks is, right, where he's going in between the G League and the main team, and maybe he gets 10 minutes here and there, but probably doesn't really play that much. And all of a sudden, Josh Christopher is a guy who can play defense. He's your hustle guy. He looks like he could be a potential sixth man on a championship kind of team, on a contending playoff team. He has the capability to play defense, and he has the capability to score. Right, he had a few different games where he dropped 20, and he had the game where he dropped 30. And so that's something that I think is a super pleasant surprise. And then if you look at somebody like Garuba, who obviously is a bit of a tough season with the injury and just kind of the lack of playing time, but once we kind of sat the vets, he was able to get some run, and I think he showed enough where you can feel positive about him and feel like, okay, this is another person that we can have contribute. So I think in terms of all of the rookies developing, I think everybody developed, fantastically, and I think guys like Jacob and Shingun developed even more and faster than you would have ever anticipated. And so then you look at somebody like KPJ as well, who I know we've had a lot of discourse on Twitter, about whether KPJ is somebody, the point guard of the future, if he's somebody we want on the team in the future. But I think that even just this last 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the season have shown that even if he's not the point guard of the future, he's somebody you want on your team in the future. And that's ultimately what I think is a really good takeaway as well. So clearly he's developed as well, right? And even if he's not the point guard of the future, just him getting these reps at point guard is going to teach him skills that are going to be valuable to a winning team, right? Playmaking skills, how to run an offense. Maybe he's a kind of like sixth man off the bench, kind of lead the offense kind of guy. So I think in terms of developing players, all of that has gone to, very successful, even more kind of successful than they would have thought. I think the other big goal too was you want to lose, and they did that.
Right.
They lost a lot, but I think they were able to lose in a way that wasn't egregious and wasn't detrimental to the game of basketball, like OKC or Portland. I felt like they lost in a way that was authentic. You know what I mean? Like